welcome to your Monday, December 2nd Monday meeting with Katelyn Fulton, myself, Carly, and Clare Fulton. We are back from having only just 1 week off. Did you guys miss us, or how was it? Was it the same?
only 1 week off.
1 week is really not a lot. Baby boomer over here doesn't take any time off. We were off for a total of 6 days. Think that's fair. No, how was the week though? How were showings or energy, open houses? Who wants to share? Sandeep, you had some open houses or showings?
Yeah.
Yeah, where about?
First day one, second day I think 6, 7 weeks, not bad.
So Sunday was a little bit better then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. People with agents or no agents?
So yeah.
No agents.
So in Scarborough, which
That's good. And if you're online, you can let us know how your open houses were as well. I see one person that did have an open house too. I know that one was a lot of agents that came through. So that's a bit normal though for agents to come through at that time. It's a kind of a prime showing time as well for a weekend.
I didn't see a whole lot of signs in Durham for open houses. Did you guys see very many open house signs? Or
No.
how about Markham? Who lives in Markham? Anybody see a lot of open house signs in Markham? No.
Does American Thanksgiving
few.
kind of transcend down to us as well? Like it's a bit of not a holiday, but
Maybe everyone was at the mall, Black Friday.
spending money at the mall, not on houses. I don't know if the malls were busy either. I know Costco was busy, but I don't know about the malls.
What's the 24/7?
That's right. That's true. Yeah, so I was saying snowing and slow and whippy. Yeah, that's true. It did snow.
So the mall's busy or no? Anybody know? The malls are not busy. I'm just curious how the whole economy's going there. So malls not that busy.
Fairly up.
Upper Canada's busy, I guess. And that was it. Yorkdale's always busy, right? But
I was reading memes this week about Black Friday and Christmas sales. They were like, instead of buying us gifts, give us money for our mortgages and our bills and utilities. The millennials don't want gifts anymore. They want money to pay
I don't
off.
think they need a tax break on alcohol either. I think they need tax breaks on other things. Well, that's true. Well, our week was good. It was very different than being here, though, for sure. Do you want to start with stats then, or?
we can try the stats. Yeah. Okay. So same thing here. So you guys think that the market, what's the market doing? Is it starting to slow down a little bit? Starting to get in Christmas mode. Christmas mode came early this year. Is that it?
It did.
Yeah.
All right.
It's holiday party season.
The numbers are going to share with you are going to be surprising because a lot of people think that the market's actually slowed down, that everything's shut down and everything else. But the numbers are going to share with you are actually tell a different story. So that tells me that actually people are out there not here because they're out there working. So, you know,
So just recap a little bit here. So we got 46% of the properties are owner occupied, meaning that the balance are not owner occupied. There's higher number of units that are freehold and owner occupied than condominiums. That all makes sense. My question here was, are we seeing any of our clients putting their pre-construction? Are they closing and are they putting it on the market now? And Nelson's done, we haven't seen it just yet. But I think this year or next year, we'll see quite a lot of new product coming to the market that the clients are going to either want to sell or rent or do something. November 20. Yeah, I can take this all back here. I'm reading the wrong one here. This all sounds familiar.
This whole meeting.
December.
You guys
really,
can't see, but we're frozen on here. The version.
I'll steal here.
Yeah, of course. Hilarious.
Still the same. So it's 21,600. Still about the same. 21,600 active listings, 11,000 freeholds, 10,000 condos. 46% of the properties are owner occupied. 36% of condominiums are owner occupied. 53% are freehold. So about the same as last week. November 30th sales compared. So I'm doing November rather than December 2nd, right? So I'm doing November 30th. Sales for November 30th of this year versus November 30th last year. The sales are actually up 33%. So that's quite a bit. And breaking that down, the condominiums themselves are up 33% and the freeholds are up 32%. So based on that, the market's okay. Now I have to remember that last November, the sales were 41,193. So everything's relative, but we want to be positive on this whole thing, saying it's plus 33%. Months of inventory is 3.74 right across the board. These numbers are going to change a little bit when Trev comes in with their numbers in a couple of days, but these are just my numbers there, but 3.74, which tells us tells it's still a bit of a buyer's market, or sort of seller's market. somewhere like anything less than 4 would be a seller's market, above 4 would be,
Above
well,
balance.
you know, it's around there, right? So it still tells us that. Does anybody here notice the multiple offers at all?
Yeah, Erin in the group is saying she has 62 showings booked and within 5 days on a listing in Scarborough. 19 groups at an open house. So it's definitely buyers out there.
Okay, so there's things going on there out there.
Yeah.
If I do the properties that sold for over asking, this week there's 22% of 22% of all sales went for over asking. Last week it was 10%. So if I look at condominiums, this week it was this month 16%, and this week 16%, last week 3% of all properties were sold for over asking. So that's telling me that the market is picking up, that there are people out there outbidding each other or doing multiples. So did Erin say there's multiple offers there too?
She hasn't sold yet, so I'm sure there's an offer day though, knowing Erin and her strategy.
Okay, good. All right. So that's nice.
Wednesdays. We'll find
Sales per day is I kind of give you a sort of rule of thumb to tell me how many sales per day. So anybody want to sort of guess how many sales per day would be a good market?
out. Mhm.
300 would be a good market, right? So 300 would be like 9,000 sales, right? So we're cruising right around about 193. So the sales themselves were 5,783. So a little bit less than 200 per day. So 5,700 sales. It's not a whole lot. I mean, you like to see 6,000, but it's not a huge number. Who remembers history? I'm trying to think of how many sales did we do last year? Does anybody remember the whole year?
5,000 and something.
Okay, so 65,000. And how many have we done this year so far? And what do I hear? So in 2000, just go down history lane here. 2020. Anybody remember what year that was? 2020 was a pandemic year, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
95,000 sales during pandemic. In 2021, that was after pandemic, but still I think we were still locked down. Weren't we?
Yeah.
121,000 sales.
Nothing to do but buy houses.
2022, which was when the market started to crash. If you remember 2022 in the spring, it was January, February, March. It was outstanding, and then March came along and they jacked up the rates, and then things dropped. We did 75,000 sales in 2022, and then last year it went down to 65,000, and this year we already have 51,000 plus, let's say another 6,000 would be 57. Plus another, so it's going to be about 6. It's actually maybe even be very similar to last year, maybe even a little bit less. So if you survived last year and this year, congratulations.
True. A good thing.
Right?
Yeah.
So the way I see it, it's got nowhere to go up. I mean, there's so much pent up demand. So I'm not surprised you had 60 showings. Erin said
Yeah.
60. I'm not
Mhm.
surprised. I'm not surprised. All kind of pent up demand up there, ready to go.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're going to pay the money that the sellers want. This is the issue that we have. Sellers are still, for some reason, still hanging on to their prices. They're still hanging on to what sold for back in 2021, 2022. They're still hanging on, but those properties just aren't going anywhere. That's where we're at. If I compare it to last month, so October last month versus November this month, the sales are actually down 12%. And last month we did, I haven't got it there, but I think we did what? Don't know, 5,000, 6,000, I guess, sales for October.
Mhm.
Anyway, sales are down from October 12% overall. Condominiums are only down 5%, and freeholds are down 16%. Leases themselves, we've got about 16,500 active leases, and they're up about 13% from last year. So to me, the market seems to be okay. We're ready for next year. December the 11th. Is that when they're going to do the announcement for the interest rates?
Yeah.
And they were at one point talking about a 0.5 point discount on December the 11th, but we think now that it's only be about a 1/4 point.
Mhm. Some are threatening even none.
Some people are thinking none, but I still think it's
Yeah,
Trudeau's
I do
Trudeau's still trying to get votes. So I
Yeah.
think he's still got something going on there.
And December 15th, new
And
rules start
December the
kicking.
15th, we've got the new rules.
Yes.
And that's going to be for the 1.5 million CMHC mortgage. So you'll be able to buy properties up to $1.5 million with less than 20% down.
Yeah.
Right.
And we did learn that the agreement has to be dated for December 15th because CMHC is not going to review any applications until that date. And I'm sure they're not going to all do it on that exact date as well. So we had a situation where somebody had a conditional offer and they needed that new rural financing and they couldn't submit the application until December 15th. So they have to make it conditional until then, or they've got to try again in that active period. But CMHC is not reviewing applications for the new rules until the 15th and onwards. So we thought people would rush in right now to start buying, but they're not actually going to get their approval. If they're financially sound and they have a general idea that they're going to be okay, they might be able to waive it, but they won't know for sure until after the 15th.
Why they're nervous as well is because they don't know whether the property itself will appraise.
That's fair too. Yeah.
So that's a concern about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Steve.
Good.
So we know that there's lots of rules coming out. We even heard about Trudeau doing an HST sort of cut. They're calling it a GST holiday for a little bit. But some people are saying that actually may impact now the interest rate because the Bank of Canada maybe will hold back a little bit knowing that the government's stepping in to do some things. So now that's why they're predicting from a 0.5 point to 1/4 point now because the government is doing all these new things to try to get you guys to get into the market too. So beware of all of these government cuts, especially if you're a variable mortgage holder. Ottawa's new handouts could pick your pocket in 2025. So with the government injecting more stimulus, the Bank of Canada can do a little bit less. As a result, they may remove a 1/4 point from the forecast. They're prepared to remove another rate cut if things still go that way as well. So even though $250 HST sort of break, it may actually impact to a $700 yearly interest in your mortgage. So everything has a sort of pro and a con, a yin and a yang to it. Nothing is sort of as clear as it looks. And it's actually going to be the borrowers who are going to pay the offset of all of these incentives and things like that. So lots of things to watch out for and be careful about as well. A lot of these things, as you know, are to get more votes because that's the sort of the time that they're in right now. So a lot of these new rules and new incentives are also a bit political also. So it's all going to impact on some way or the other. You can just piggyback if you think it goes, otherwise I keep going.
That was CMHC.
That was yeah.
So there's a lot of just this is political commentary, I guess, on what CMHC is doing. What CMHC, this article here is talking about is CMHC unwittingly are affecting the prices in Canada by enabling borrowers to borrow money at 30-year AM, by extending the $1.5 million for the high ratio mortgages. They're making money cheaper. Therefore, when money gets cheaper, the prices go up. So they're saying that everything that they're doing there is actually jacking prices up and not down. For instance, if people qualify for less than 20% down for $1.5 million, that means it's going to be more buyers out there that can qualify for properties for $1.5 million. When you have more buyers, what do you have? Right? You have more demand. You have more demand, you higher prices. Right? Simple as that. I've said this before. Nobody's picked up on it, but you have to qualify based on a 44% TDS and a 33% GDS. You remember that going back to phase one? Those folks. The new folks have got Russell here. Did they teach you about TDS and GDSs at school?
Like,
Yes.
A little bit. They talk about financing to qualify. Okay. So if you qualify at, let's say 40%, just for the heck of it, if you qualify, you make $100,000 a year, family income at 40%, you qualify for, I'm just off the top of my head with your down payment, qualify for a $800,000 property. When they change the rules, now you're going to qualify for a $900,000 property. So what the buyers believe is because they have this $1.5 million CMHC, they believe it's going to be cheaper for them to buy a house. It's going to be cheaper money. When in reality, based on the 40%, because they can afford more, the actual prices are going to increase. So it's going to be actual washed. Nothing's going to change. It's going to cost some more money for that same house. But that's what they're talking about CMHC, and they're actually here. They're saying that they should defund CMHC and get rid of it altogether. Because what they're doing is they're giving insurance for the banks. In other words, if somebody reneges on the mortgage, bank gives a high ratio mortgage, the buyer reneges, the government will pay the bank any money that they lost. You follow that? And what these guys are saying that why is the government in the business of protecting the banks? Let the banks have their own insurance. Why is CMHC involved at all? If the banks want to lend money. If they're going to lose money, they lose money like anybody else. So that's I don't know if Pierre Poilievre's got that in his sights or not, but that's something to think.
Okay. But a little bit of good news. I mean, interest rates have helped people overall. And so there was some stats that show that the income needed to purchase a home right now in Canada is less than what it was last year. So this is good news overall. It's actually fallen. Most of the cities all across the country have all fallen in terms of affordability. So we know right now, even after the latest cut, we went from 4.25 to 3.75, and that did, help a lot of people out. And especially if we have another one coming in December. To give you an example, in all of Toronto, so this is not GTA, but this is all of Toronto, the average price was just about $1,068,000, let's call it, in September. That went down in October to $1,060,000. So it's only about an $8,500 decrease in average price. But how that impacts your income is in September, assuming some things in your mortgage, you'd need about $199,000 income to purchase a home, whereas now in October it's what, $195,000. So it's about $4,300 difference in just 1 month in people's affordability. So that's a pretty big significant chunk from 1 month to the other. So that is some good news. So interest rates are overall helping people get into the market and helping lowering what they currently are spending, but the income required is a little bit less. I will say $200,000 income required is still very high for the average family today overall, but has impacted positively in some people. And it's pretty consistent all across Canada. Vancouver's about $4,500 difference, even in Hamilton. Calgary is only $2,300 difference. So the market's a little bit different, but all across Canada, especially you get lower and lower as you get into the smaller cities. Toronto had the biggest impact, but it's a little bit positive that income required is a little bit less than what we needed last month. So that's a good thing. Yep. I don't have a lot of news. I have more compliance stuff eventually coming.
All right.
So you better get all the news articles out of the way.
So we mentioned some time ago for pre-construction. If you guys have pre-construction there, but anything that your clients have bought, they have that, they buy pre-construction, then they have the interim occupancy. And the interim occupancy fee is far more than anybody ever expected, because it could be like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in some cases, right? Just nuts. But what the developers are also allowing though, or not allowing, some developers will not allow your client to rent out that property during the occupancy period. The reason why they don't want to let the client rent it out is because they're afraid if they don't close, then the developer is stuck with the tenant.
Yeah. So did you get the same question I got this weekend?
And then somebody even tried to do an amendment. I don't know what it is. Nelson told me about this one.
After they had done the deal with the builder made them sign an addendum that if they rent it, it can only be on a month-to-month basis, not a 1 year.
Yes, exactly.
So now saying that, so the builder brought an amendment to change it to, if you are going to lease it during occupancy, it can only be month to month. But why would they sign any amendment?
Sorry?
Why would they sign any amendment?
To allow them to lease it in the first place.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they want the unit, I guess.
They want to be able to lease it out.
From occupancy and all
I know, but I'm just saying, if you already bought a place and you already have interim occupancy and they come to you, so you can't rent it out, sign this amendment that you can't rent it out, I don't think I'd want to sign it.
They might not let you rent it out at all though.
I don't know if they.
If you have to get builders
If they
consent.
need an amendment, then unless the original offer says you're not allowed to rent it out.
That's what I'm
at all.
saying. Yeah.
And if you do, and then they'll do an amendment allowing you to rent it out, it's only a month to month.
Exactly.
Okay, I can see that.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that any relevant to tenancy if tenants they don't want to move out?
That's right. It's still irrelevant. So
It's still under the LTD.
Month to month doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I also got tricked into a question on WhatsApp, and I have to learn to ask what the real question was. But the question is, do you need mortgage approval at occupancy or final registration? And previously in a good market, it was at final registration. You would have your occupancy phase and then you'd apply for your mortgage and you would close on it. But now builders are asking for mortgage approvals at occupancy for the same reason, because I want to make sure that you're actually going to close if you rent it out. So now it might be of an occupancy that you've got to show mortgage pre-approval. And there's a lot of people that are not getting pre-approvals, or the approvals or appraisals are even less. They're asking for extensions, and that's costing another 10, 20, 30 grand just to get an extension to try to close on this. So everything that was usual in like 2018 previous has all changed now, and it's not black and white rules. These are builder rules, and they make amendments and they make changes as they want to, and everything is a little bit unique today versus 2018. It's a little bit different.
I thought they wanted pre-approvals before the,
You at signing, you do a pre-approval, but that's not a full commitment. It's just a pre-approval. And then now they want the full commitment at occupancy, even before final registration, because they want to make sure.
Yeah, ask after 1 week or 10 days.
sometimes they won't pay your commission unless they get confirmation of pre-approvals, right?
Yeah.
Don't wait until.
Yeah. So that's at signing, I'm saying, but that's only a pre-approval. That's not your full commitment. Now they're asking for a commitment, full mortgage commitment at occupancy before closing.
I know some poor souls who got a little greedy and they didn't, rather than buying one pre-construction, they bought 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And the builder asked them for their pre-approval and their friend gave them pre-approvals for all these 4 properties. And of course, it was not,
With the plan to
it
assign it.
wasn't legit.
Mhm.
Oh, that way. So now it comes to closing, the poor soul can't close because he's got to close 4 deals. He can't qualify to close 1.
Mhm.
Because they were told they could assign it probably, right?
Yeah.
So they weren't planning on owning
These are
them
things you
ever.
guys learn on the pre-construction, right? You learn that, yes, you can assign the property, but you're not allowed to advertise it. They didn't tell you that part.
It's true. You can't put it on MLS. so-
Can't put an MLS, right?
Yeah, you can lease it, but only.
Yes, you can cap the development fees. Anybody do that? You cap the development fees at $10,000, whatever it might be, but what you forget,
Mhm.
you didn't do the other fees. You didn't do the tree fund, the
Levies.
electrical hookup funds, the other thing that, and those are actually $20,000-$30,000, and far more than the development charge.
Yeah. So even occupancy fees, I mean, we used to say, oh, it's a little bit like market rent. You're just paying for your maintenance fees and property taxes and it'll be comparable to market rent. Then you add interest to that. You're actually paying interest on the builder's loan. And if that loan is quite big, now in occupancy fees, you're paying the interest in that fees. And that's what has skyrocketed occupancy fees right now. You no longer can you say it's a little bit like rent. It could be like 3 times what your actual mortgage or what market rent could be for the building. So a lot of things that nobody could predict it, even if you had a lawyer review your document before.
I'm aware of one pre-construction with Tridel where our client was quite wealthy and they wanted like $5,000 or $6,000 a month for occupancy fees. So forget it, I'm paying cash.
Mhm.
They said, well, you haven't paid cash yet. He says, watch this. How much do I owe you? Wrote him a check right there and they paid all cash. And so he's not paying the occupancy fee.
Fair. Yeah, I thought you might want to talk about this one because it's kind of your head, but otherwise I will. You want me to introduce it? Yeah, that's so. And related to vacant home tax, did everybody get a hold of their clients that were in Toronto to remind them about their vacant home declaration? It was a good point of contact for us. I had a lot of people thank me in our groups and stuff. They're saying the rollout went better than last year. Although there was a little bit more calls to 311, but overall it seemed like the portal really helped people. And I think the awareness was a lot better. They've sent 2 out of 5 notices that they're going to. Canada Post strike will impact a little bit of that, but overall they feel like it's more smooth. It's about it's in
The
the
bright
third year
yellow
now,
envelope
so-
again helped. 'Cause
Bright yellow
It was
envelope.
white, yes, last year, and
Yeah.
this year it's yellow
Yeah,
again.
and I think everyone that last year didn't fully pick up that they had to do this and got hit with that interest. Now this year, everybody sort of learned a lesson because 165,000 people got unwarranted fees last year who, had non-vacant places who now had to pay this. So I think that was just a shocker for everybody, but overall, seems like the rollout is a little bit better. You still have until April to do it, so still not a bad idea to reach out to your clients. It's still a good touch point for those people.
So I did my own there. I never got, because of the mail strike, I never got my yellow envelope, I guess, right?
Oh, maybe I got mine just in time.
So I phoned them because when you go online, you have to fill in a customer number.
Exactly.
And I didn't know what
Oh,
the
it's in
customer
the
number was,
envelope.
so I just phoned 311. My question was, I want the customer number, and the guy says, well, I'll do it for you right now, and he just did the vacant tax, he just did declaration on the phone, I was done like
Based on your address.
3 minutes.
The customer number is not even on the text.
No. Well, no, it'll be on the tax
Yeah.
bill. that
It's on
gets-
your property
it's on-
tax
It's on your
bill.
property tax bill that gets mailed to you,
Mhm.
Yeah,
but it's not on Geo Warehouse.
No, not on your, it's the tax statement every year they receive.
Your customer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
you get
Yeah.
that, you get that blue thing there that folds in, it's in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you phone that 311, it was a pleasant experience, but I wouldn't wait till April 29th to do it.
No.
Because I had a previous year done, when I went to Google and wanted to do that, and I went to save for, automatically that number showed up itself.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm thinking though that you want to put that in your little reels. You want to put that in your to your clients, because you'd be amazed how many clients do not know
Yep.
about this. Even if going into our 3rd year.
Yeah, especially if they just bought in the last year, like they're new in Toronto, they wouldn't know from last year, right?
And
All your
just-
new buyers.
And just so you know, it's this year it's 3% of the assessed value. So if you have $1 million assessed value, it's a $30,000 bill on top of the taxes you're paying now.
For nothing. Mhm. Fair. This is an opinion piece. I'm curious what you guys think. We've talked a little bit about this before, but it's about new realtors getting into the business and not being educated or professional. And this opinion is about an agent who thinks that it's not just up to the brokers to provide mentorship and training, but it's actually all of our collective responsibility, because as a whole, if we help out each other in terms of professionalism and ethics and things like that, it actually helps out our entire industry, and it might actually help protect commissions and help, the commission cutting type companies if we're all in it together. So, I mean, here's some things that they talk about are risks of neglecting newer agents, but professional standards slip. So again, overall, poorly trained agents can lower the bar in terms of service, and mistakes happen when new agents lack guidance, and that impacts all of us. It impacts the client experience on both sides, even if you yourself are an amazing agent. Turnover hurts everybody. So it's really tiring and expensive for brokerages to recruit, onboard. And when people get into the business and we do all this recruiting and training and effort, and then they leave the business, all that investment that a brokerage has put into it is now gone. And that also does not help the industry as a whole. Missed opportunities for innovation. So new agents may come in with new ideas and new ways of thinking and things that we didn't think about. And if they come into the business and they're not supported and they end up leaving, we lose that insight and we lose that innovation as well. So it's another risk of not sort of paying attention to newer agents. Client trust can decline. So again, it can be a poor client experience on both sides. So again, it's an opinion piece, and it's up to you, what you think about this. But some ways that they're suggesting that we can do better as agents overall and helping out new agents is providing mentorship. So not just at the brokerage level, but a little bit of guidance, inviting new agents to shadow you, sharing advice over coffee. We have a lot of this question a lot. Can I shadow you? And we often say no, because we actually don't know a lot of agents who are willing to do that. But not to mean to suggest that might actually help out some people, right? Even really small moments can help create clarity and confidence for agents who are still figuring things out. Being a model for consistency, so showing up in your own work, showing up as professional, coming to the office, coming to events, doing the networking, but kind of showing by example and showing new agents what it's like to be in real estate full time. Hands-on training. So if you're in the middle of a deal and you notice someone makes a mistake, I've had it happen where people can be really nasty and really putting them down, but maybe there's an opportunity to just educate them and say, actually, it should be like this, or maybe your office didn't let you know, but there's no reason, I don't think, to be nasty and mean. It's to just educate them and kind of help them out. They talk about simplifying technology, so helping agents, not get so caught up in our ever-changing board stuff, but also looking at just like what matters in your business, which could be your CRM is everything, and just keeping technology simplified for everybody. Celebrating success and just accountability without micromanagement. So we all know we got into this business to not be micromanaged, but to sort of hold each other accountable overall. So I don't know what you think about that. I know as brokers, we're sort of ingrained to serve people and train them, and that's sort of our position. But even out in the world, if I meet a new agent on the other side and they make a mistake, I'm going to let them know. I'm not going to be a biatch
Not
to
be
them.
mean about it.
I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm going to come from an educational component. If they don't want to take it and absorb it, that's up to them. But I guess that's because we're brokers and we kind of lean in that way. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad idea for all agents to kind of treat each other with respect that way too. And it does help out the industry as a whole. So that's just an opinion piece, and you guys can take as you will with that.
You guys ever done that? You ever noticed another agent that you're dealing with isn't up to speed?
No,
I usually ask them straight up, are you new? And then it opens it up, and then you just walk them through it because you're ultimately there to get the deal done, but
That's
you don't have to be against each other.
that gets into a confrontation, doesn't it? When somebody asks you how long
Well,
you've been in
don't say
business-
how long have you been in the business.
Usually-
That's the rude.
Usually if somebody asks you how long you've been in the business, that tells me that you guys are having a fight.
Yeah. Don't ask that.
You're having some kind of conflict there. How long you been in the business? Oh, okay. So you gotta be your salesman, right? You gotta be a salesman. So Peter West, people ask him that business. People are watching, so they don't know who he is, but anyways. on YouTube. But anyway, he's been in the business for a bunch of years, right? So whenever he comes across that thing there, and the agent will come on, he gets some young buck there, and he's going after Pete. And how long you been in the business? Pete will say, "Well, I don't know, not very long, man. So whatever you could teach me, I'd really appreciate it."
He's been in the business for 4 years.
So the point is the salesman came up. Instead of saying 35 years, I know more than you ever forgot, or I forgot more than you'll ever learn. Instead of being aggressive, you got to use it as a sales opportunity, right? Always twist it around. Always make sure it's into your favor, right?
I guarantee every single agent here has experienced that
Yeah.
question.
Oh
in the
man, I don't
past.
know. Whatever you can teach me, I've been in the business for 10 years, but I haven't learned anything. Whatever you can teach me would be wonderful, And then they start telling you how to do your job, which is good, and you take that information.
Are we ready to get into compliance stuff, or you have more news economy type stuff? This is actually a case in BC, so not related to Ontario, but just a reminder. There was a realtor that was fined $20,000 for giving the central lot code to their client to conduct a showing.
$20,000.
She actually got it reduced to $10,000 because she admitted it pretty early and she apologized. So she didn't try to lie about it. She admitted that she gave out a lockbox, so we would have the same sort of fine. But it still surprises me when I hear from agents like, can I just have my friend do the showing, or can I just give them the lockbox, or we've already bought the house, it's just a buyer visit. Like, you cannot give a lockbox out. You have to be a licensed realtor to be able to show a property.
And at a home inspection.
Yes.
You guys have to be there for the home inspection with the inspector as well.
Yes, but everybody here knows that. So that's just me reminding the public.
What's that? Yep. Someone of license has to be with the client.
Yeah. You probably talked about this last meeting, Claire, already. You have an invoice due December 31st.
I think an email went out today.
Email went
as
out
well.
today. It is for your TREB, ORIA, ORWP, and CREA dues. So
Nice. $2,000.
all rolled up into one. It's due December 31st. If you are late, there's a $100 fee. Last year, they extended the deadline to the 15th, and I called that out earlier. That was my mistake. I don't think they are extending the deadline. I think that was to lessen the blow of the ORWP stuff last year. So this year, it is all due December 31st. You can go online to the new member hub to pay it. And again, it includes your ORIA, TREB, CREA, and the new benefit ORWP program. So that's due December 31st, and your invoices will be in your member hub as of today. There should be a Black Friday deal in your fees.
There should be.
They did try to increase the fees by $60. Everybody was able to vote against that, but I do believe they will absorb that in some other way. So I would expect an increase, or they're going to pull it out of some other budget, but I don't think it's going to go away, but it's just not included in this particular bill.
Did anyone use their benefits this year? I'm just curious.
So Carter was talking about last week, you guys got the email back on, well, it came in today too, I guess. If you're not completed your 2025-26 ORWP open enrollment period. So once a year, you get a chance to change your plan. So you've only got, you got till December the 13th to do that. What are you going to change the plan to or from?
So you could add like a dependent. Maybe you had a life event, like you got married, or you had a dependent and you got divorced. So it's anything like a life event that would happen that you want to change, or maybe you want to increase your benefits. There is an option for people that have corporate benefits, so you could go into a slightly different plan. So all those type of changes you can do one time a year from now.
Mm-hmm. And as I said before, you can get your $600 or $700 back. All you have to do is just do a massage or do a mental health or something. There's lots of stuff there that you can use to take advantage of it.
Does it include that chiropractor and something like that?
Yep. Yeah, it's called a paramedical service. That would be like massage therapy, osteopathy, chiropractic, physiotherapy. Would not include like naturopath. Would include like acupuncture, stuff like that.
Is that part of the Green Shield?
Yeah, it's part of Green Shield. Yeah. Yeah. So they're kind of banking on the fact that nobody uses it. The fact that no one's used the $650 is exactly how they do their math on the program. Dental is not really part of a standard group plan in most corporations too. Like every corporation I've been part of, dental's always been like an add-on kind of thing. Same with like vision. The plan is still the most basic probably that's out there, but it's still $650 that you've already paid for. So you might as well try to break even on it.
It's
But
only $10, that's all.
yeah, you got another 30 days to get massages. Yeah. I don't know, use it. It's there. Yeah.
70%.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. All right. So also today, December 2nd, we've been talking about it for the past month, but we have new MLS rules today. I know everybody's super excited about that. And honestly, most of the rules have not changed in a way that would impact your listings in a great way. It was mostly to consolidate all of a province-wide type MLS system. So things that other markets had, we now have two on our ROM, but we've had those fields for some time. Some of the main rules that have changed as of today is that we must update your listing status on the next business day as opposed to 2 business days, which means if you have a listing with us, as soon as you get the deposit, we need to know, and we need all of your documents that same time so that we can update the status of your listing. So you can't just send us a deposit and then send us paperwork later. Like, we need your documents right then and there to update your listing, and it's good practice for you anyways. As well as we have a responsibility to pay the cooperating brokerage within 7 days. So that has also increased in time. It used to be 10 days. We've always paid it out as soon as we can anyways, but that rule has changed slightly. The responsibility for canceling an appointment was always on the buyer side, but now it's actually also with the listing side too, because the listing brokerage may cancel your showing last minute on your way up to the property with something like, oh, it's been sold for no more showings, and you're literally in the car on your way there. They could also now be penalized for that type of behavior too. So it kind of works both ways now. Things including your fields will remind, this is all in your listings, right? So public facing fields on your client remarks can only display listings related to the property that clients would need to know. You can't say things like contact LA for more information or see attachments. It has to all be right there in the client remarks. Brokerage remarks would refer to only things that could impact the cooperating brokerage. So things that the other broker would need to know to advise his client accordingly. And there's going to be a new, it's not ready yet, it'll be available soon, an offer remarks field, which you'll put in details related to your offer night. So what day you're looking at offers, closing date preferred, timing, things like that. Also, anything that is on your seller direction form must be in that MLS field as well. And this will impact all of your existing listings as of today, not just new listings as of today. So if you have listings right now, you may want to go in and do a bit of an audit and make sure the proper fields are in the right place and everything looks clean. And if you have any questions, just reach out to us and let us know. And all of this is as of today. And there's also a 50-page booklet of more stuff than I just talked about. So I would encourage you to go on and take a look. There's also a course that you can take as well in relation to all the new rules. And I think Claire has information also about a new member orientation course.
Yeah, it's okay. So just go back to what you're talking about there. So if somebody's, if the content of the seller direction form is entered in this field, so there's going to be a new field on there. So right now, I wonder what the field looks like.
It's probably going to be like client remarks, brokerage remarks, offer remarks, and it's going to be a blank text field that you would put in anything related to offers, as well as any, like a seller direction, maybe holding offers on this date or 48-hour irrevocable or something like that. And you would put anything that they've signed on a direction into that field. I think it's for transparency so that the brokerage knows exactly what the offer requirements are. I actually don't mind that field. It may even save you from doing
So this is effective December the 2nd, right? And that field we're talking about is not available yet, so don't worry about it.
Once available, there's no timeline on that.
It's available.
It's true. I don't have anything, so we'll pass it on.
Okay, so on to me now. Okay, so holidays. So it looks like Christmas and New Year's this year are on a Wednesday. So that's going to screw us up a little bit, right?
Boring.
So we'll be, looks like the board's going to be closed on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Probably us too. Wednesday's the 25th. So we'll probably close on Tuesday, what, noon? Close on Wednesday, the 25th. Close on Thursday, the 26th. At least Friday open. We'll have to decide later what we're doing. Just normal, and then same thing with the New Year's as well. So it's kind of odd when it's
Right in the middle
it's
of
on
the
a
week.
Wednesday. It screws us up, right? Yeah. So orientation now, it's not nobody here, but orientation now they've added another field. Hopefully that's because of what we complained. I'm looking at the new folks. Russell here. Did they tell you when you did the orientation? Have you done orientation yet? Did they talk about when you book appointments and you can't make it, you have to cancel? Was there discussion about that?
Yes, that was.
Okay, good.
Like, there's an $800 fine, you don't cancel.
Yeah, it could be more even. So yeah, $800 cheap, man. So okay. But they've added another course in here called professionalism, ethics, and compliance. Okay, so they never did that. What my complaint was that agents would maybe not show up. Well, I had one where an agent didn't. What do you do? He had a for sale sign. It didn't cover up the R symbol. Remember that? And I got fined.
What is the R symbol?
The realtor
symbol.
or the MLS logo too.
Realtor. Yeah, MLS. There's MLS and there's R symbol, right? There's two. So they didn't cover the MLS. And they got fined and I got fined. And I said, what, how am I getting fined? I've got nothing to do with this. But anyway, so we complained saying you guys have to train more. You should.
That's a different.
It was coming soon. It was last year, but it's changed a little bit. The whole point was that the agent had their own for sale sign in their trunk, like a metal one, took the for sale sign out, hammered it into the ground, put his own sign up, put coming soon on, but didn't cover up MLS. And then he was there for a month. Somebody complained and he got fined. So there we are. I got fined.
And had to go to classes.
And I'm thinking, I didn't even know the sign was there. I didn't like. There's no exclusive listing. There was no. We didn't order the sign up from our people. The guy did it himself. I mean, I'm still guilty. But
Yeah.
anyway, so they're starting to teach more things now because of that.
Which they should.
They did speak about this,
Yeah, good.
covering the MLS sign when it's coming through.
Yeah, okay, good.
So you remember, good student.
We had one where an open house. Somebody broke a load of property on Thursday.
No, don't tell me that.
And then they tried to book the open house on MLS, but because it hadn't been processed, it never showed up. There was no option for an open house.
Mm.
So we had to wait. So everybody's scrambling. What's going on? There's something wrong with the system. Nothing wrong with the system. Just
Okay.
that it had to go through the
feed.
feed and
Yeah,
get
okay.
uploaded to realtor.ca before it would show up. So
Okay.
things are going on there.
So, but it wasn't realtor.ca within 2 hours.
It was just broker loaded.
Yeah, so it's each time.
I thought it was like twice a day, 3 times a day. So it just got caught up during those 2 hours in between uploads, right?
Okay, good.
So you got realtor.ca, you got your MLS listing on Realm, and you got your broker base. So you got 3 spots to register your open houses. Just technical again. Somebody last week was inquiring about a P. I want to make sure everybody understands what a PTOL is.
POTL.
POTL.
Bottle.
Pottle.
Pottle. It's
I got this
parcel
question this
of
weekend too. so
parcel of title
land.
land.
By
Land.
land.
I call it when I went to school, it was called a common elements condominium.
Kind of makes more
Which
sense.
makes more sense. And basically, so the unit itself is a freehold, but the driveway and the main road going in, garbage removal, stuff like that's common elements. You're paying for that. Just so you know, there is a status certificate for these units.
Yeah, you know that.
No, don't say we. Don't say we. Say I know that.
I should have known that.
Right? And you may want to put a condition on status certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you didn't put condition on status certificate, and the chances are it's going to be fine anyways. Chances are, it's only like $50, $60, $70, whatever it is. But even if for some reason that you forgot to do it on the fine print of the POTL forms, it addresses the fact that the seller will give the status certificate at the seller's expense to the buyer.
Which is another note that it's a completely different offer form as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a completely different offer form. You know that, right? It's POTL forms have their own offer form, right?
But when somebody give you the charges, they give you sometime at the time of closing.
That's fine. Well, that's fine too, as long as it's before. As long as it's before. So it doesn't really say, it's just as a request. So the buyers can do it at their expense. So if you put it in, that's fine. You don't put it in, you're still covered.
So on Geo Warehouse, how you can tell is it'll say ownership type freehold. The 2 lines down, it'll say property type condo. And that can be very confusing because it's technically a freehold condo. And I had the question this weekend, well, how do you know the pottle? Like, where does the word pottle show up? Because it's not in the legal description. And we know because it'll say part of a common element. But I think it's just part of legal terms in our education that it is a pottle. It's a parcel of tied land.
So if it's
But
a
Geo Warehouse
freehold,
doesn't say
then
pottle.
condo, freehold and condo, that's pottle.
Yeah, and you'll see how the legal description is written out. That'll be another indicator that it's a freehold with common interest in certain elements. But the word pottle itself will not be on Geo Warehouse, and it's just part of our education and knowledge.
Section.
Freehold as ownership type, condo as property type. Yeah.
What it'll also show in the legal description, if you remember going back to phase 3 now, I'm going out for real serious, see what they teach nowadays. If you have a plan number, you have there's a registry system and land title system. Remember that? Did you teach that? Registry system, land titles? And a property on land titles starts with an M. So it might have 65M2412. And that would identify that it's a land titles legal description of a property. But on a pottle, it'll have the 65M, whatever it is, 24, describe the property, and then it'll have condominium as well. So it'll have 2 descriptions. One will be the titles, and one will be the condominium. That way you'll find out whether it's a pottle or not.
Yeah, I just said because I said so is how I knew. He said, well, how do you know for sure? I said, because I said so. Because I checked your house, and that's because I know, but I don't know how to prove it.
So this is kind of vain when I can talk right now, but it's okay. I have what's called Google Alerts. You guys ever use Google Alerts? It's a Google Alerts. And I tell Google Alerts anytime that this word comes up anywhere on the internet, I want you to send me something. So that's how I get a lot of my articles. I say, look for Toronto real estate news, and every morning I'll get in my inbox. I'll get Toronto Star, Globe and Mail, Financial Post, Blog TV, whatever sort of matches that, and I'll get information on that. I also put my own name there. This is the vain part. Because I want to see if anybody's talking about me.
Yeah.
I want to know if somebody's talking about me, or somebody's trying to impersonate me, or somebody's trying to whatever else. So I just stuck my own name there is coming up. So here I wrote a book. I thought, what's going up here? So I wrote a book in Scotland.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Anyways.
Very scholarly of you.
Yeah, you don't know. ChatGPT. I'm going to say this and just tell me if it reminds you of anything here. So what Canadian newspapers, this is just for fun anyways, but Canadian newspapers are suing ChatGPT because they're saying that ChatGPT is scraping their data and putting it into their program so they can answer GPT questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're stealing, like Toronto Star and Globe Mail pay people to write these articles, and they create the articles, and all ChatGPT is steal it and stick it in their database and makes it like it's them.
Like Google?
It doesn't even give them reference.
Google does. Oh,
The Google would reference
yeah.
it.
Google would put the link to the article.
So what they're complaining about is that these guys here are stealing data and putting it on their webpage and giving it for free. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? Anybody heard of the MLS system?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
And so somehow we got this wonderful system here that we're allowing guys to go in there and put $1 mere postings and to put all this stuff here. We just allowed all these people just to come in and steal our data and pretend they're
How
us.
Sigma just kind of came on in.
You got guys like Zolo who are from British Columbia who have a program that somehow finds about properties, or House Sigma uses our data and presents it if it's theirs. I think. So I think these guys got it right. I wish we'd sue these guys, but we won't.
But how CMHC got the rights to use that because all the real estate board allowed.
Well, I know there's complications, but still. I mean, if I belong to the Cedar Bay Golf Club and I don't pay my dues, you know what? I don't belong to Cedar Bay Golf Club anymore. Mm-hmm. Or if they say I have to start this, they have rules, right? I don't know. Yeah. Golden Mile. Who's been around longer than me? Not too many.
What about Golden Mile?
Golden Mile's at Eglinton and Victoria Park, and it was the first. It was the first strip mall in Canada back in the 50s.
First in Canada.
In Canada, because Don Mills was the first subdivision, and then Golden Mile was one of the first plazas. Anyway, so now it's on rich land. So the proposal here is they're going to actually build into Golden Mile 100 buildings and have room for 56,000 people.
How much?
56,000 people. They're going to take the south side of Eglinton, right from Victoria Park all the way over to Birchmount. So you know what I'm talking about there? There's the courts there. There's all those little one right, and they're going to wipe them all out and replace them all with condominiums and everything gone.
Everything.
And on the south side, just at the corner between Victoria Park and was it Pharmacy? I guess it would be. Where Costco is in those places, that same thing wiped out, and they're going to build all these giant things. They're not going to worry about Costco. They're going to have Costco on the main floor, and they have a condominium on top
And
of
then
it.
Senex moving right in.
There's a lot of properties that are like that. Like
Yeah.
look at this Sunday, you have to Sunday.
Yeah.
On main floor.
So the complicated.
and then on
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
The complicated part, though, for this project is that there's individual private landowners. So now they've got to work with the city and individual landowners to make this happen. It's not going to be an easy project. It's going to take a long time and very complex. Yeah, it's a very complex project. So versus like other areas, North York might have picked one builder, like Daniels and one other, and they would all work together. Now they're going to have a whole bunch. Starting next year, 2025.
You and I won't be around.
That's not true. Starting next year. We'll all be selling the project there.
But it's happening in Pickering. It's happening in Cloverdale Mall. It's happening in, I think, even Yorkdale. They're
I think it's
talking about
good.
that. So,
100 buildings? 100 buildings.
but there's a high school at is it Toronto Northern Tech or Toronto North? Where is it? It's on the main floor. I think Tridell built the building. Main floor is the high school.
Proud of you.
It's the high school and there's condo.
There's a high school on main floor.
Yeah.
And trailer building on top.
Yeah, this is, yeah, so
So
it's,
knocked on the school, rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah.
High school.
correct.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's happening now too. So maybe we'll do that, maybe we'll do it at the hospitals, maybe we'll do all different things, right?
Costco's.
This poor woman died with no mortgage, and somebody pretended they were her and got a reverse mortgage on the property and got the money.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
So I'm not sure how to prevent that. I mean, there was talk, well, I guess title insurance will cover that, but this is an old woman. There may not have been title insurance when she bought the place back in the 60s, wherever she bought it.
Look at how it's so easy though. I don't understand.
And there's a lawyer involved. Lawyer had to identify the people, so hopefully they're going to charge the lawyer too. They arrested and charged the fellow whose name's on. What he said is, hey, I just signed it. I did it for somebody else. So it's like a straw buyer that did it, or some organized crime or something that did it and put this poor sucker's name on it. He's the one that signed the papers, and he's the one that that paid for it.
Mhm.
I don't know. The bank's half rate. Good. We're gonna read through this thing. Huh?
No, I'm gonna let Katelyn go because we've got other stuff to talk about.
Okay.
No, I'm
Oh,
the
no?
end, so
Oh, I thought we were at the end.
I'm at the end now. Okay, good.
you don't have any more.
And Katelyn.
Do you have one more?
No, it's okay.
Don't worry.
We've already talked about this already.
Mine's not like crazy, just dates. Are we on screen share? I didn't have a whole lot, just like what's happening like this month. We were gonna do a summary of this morning, but I don't think anyone really enjoyed this morning's session, so we won't do a coaching one. But if you guys were thinking of things to work on this month while it's nice and slow, this is probably the best time of the year right now to get your contact lists going, so your CRMs, and get that holiday communication plan ready to go. So if you guys are thinking about a way to get in front of your audience, or your goal was to update your database and your CRM, get started on a good foot for 2025, this is the best time to start getting that organized. So are any of you guys using a CRM? I just did my systems training, so hopefully whoever attended is using a CRM now, or a contact list? No?
Yes, everyone here for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's hands.
Okay.
People are shy.
Okay, so if you don't, basically, your contact list could just be as simple as being on an Excel sheet or starting to use a CRM platform that we give you guys. But if you haven't done one, I would start to go back to all the deals that you guys did this year, make sure they're all on your CRM, make sure any leads that you spoke to at open houses or online marketing, whatever you guys were doing this year, those should also be on your CRM, and start to categorize these people. So this is a really great time to go through your entire list. Us girls, we literally print off our CRM every year at this time of the year and go individual client by client, make sure that all the contact information's up to date. So you got the proper mailing addresses, including postal codes, the emails are up to date, phone numbers are up to date. So go through your contact list now to make sure that it's all organized, and then get it all tagged. So if you're going to do buyers, sellers, past clients, sphere of influence, you guys can decide how you want to tag it. But make sure that this is a really great time to get it all set up for next year so that you guys are doing a specific communication plan. And especially if you guys are doing, I have a holiday communication plan. So you guys should all have something going out this holiday to your past clients, to friends, family. Everyone should be getting something from you. It doesn't necessarily have to be branded or anything, but it's a good time to remind people of you. But you could do things like just a simple e-newsletter card of the holidays. You could do a handwritten card. So this is why it's also important to have your contact list up to date, so you guys can print off some labels to get those out. You can think about sending floral arrangements. I'll show you guys in the next slide what us girls do. Gifts. I know Santic's been going to Costco every week to buy Lego. They have Lego florals, which we're actually giving out to some clients as well. So think of like little gifts or bigger gifts that you guys can give out to maybe people that have referred a lot of business to you, people that did business with you this past year. So maybe think about taking it a step further for those more important type of clients. You may think about doing giveaways. Thermea Spa, for example, in Whitby would be a good one, just to kind of get people on your social platforms. I know some of our agents have been doing photo shoots and booking out studios, hiring a photographer, and then getting their clients Santa photos. It might be a little late for that if you haven't decided on doing that, but you guys should all have something going out to past clients. If you don't celebrate or not, it could just be a Happy New Year's, whatever you guys celebrate. It doesn't necessarily have to be Merry Christmas or anything. So if you haven't already, this is a great time to do your CRMs. The girls downstairs, if you guys are doing mail outs, if you have a nice organized Excel sheet, I'm sure the girls would be happy to print off your labels for them, the ones that you just tear off. But if you guys have to have those all organized. So if you haven't done that, this is a great time.
Yeah, Hub 21 will actually do mailing labels for you if the information is all filled out. So you have to have full name, full address, postal code. It has to be organized, but there is a template that you can pull that will do mailing labels.
Yeah. And I think Ginny even organized a bunch of calendar mail outs if you guys got your orders in on time. So if not, then there's some other ideas. I'll show you guys Hub 21 as well. But yeah, Carly said Hub 21. We were all also just reading on the news article. We also have access to Active Pipe now. So if you don't know how to use Hub 21 Engage mass emails, we now have access to Active Pipe, which is an easier platform to send out mass emails. So if you guys want access to that, just let us know. I think it's $30 a month.
Yeah, and so Rem Magazine did a feature on Century 21 Canada, so that was nice to see our company in the magazine, and they were talking all about Active Pipe and how great a tool it is. We haven't done a lot of advertising because I know campaigns not for everybody, but it is a really great tool if you are into the email campaign sending type business. So just let us know if you need more help with that.
Just be careful if you guys are sending out the email marketing and you are doing a holiday email, don't send a generic one or else people are going to start to unsubscribe from your email list. It's a very common unsubscribe. So I would take it a step ahead and do more of a personalized update. Maybe talk about, I don't know, your family or like things that you got up to this year. Make it a little bit more of like a personal letter versus like a photo of a Christmas tree or whatever it is. But what were you going to say? Claire, you had a thought?
No, it's gone.
Was it send out a Christmas card like that? And I'm like, don't do that. Okay. We think it's coming. We think our stager, I had her sponsored there. Feather Staging is going to be doing another holiday nook here at the office, at the Kennedy office. So if you guys do want to bring in clients, I would suggest booking the time slot for the nook. It's going to be in the boardroom. Last year, she just had like a Christmas tree, a sitting area. People brought in their clients to take photos. You could bring in your own families if you want to do something, or even if you just want to do your own holiday videos to send like a video email out this year. Lots of options, but we will have that holiday nook back. So just let us know if you guys want to book a time slot. Don't just show up with a bunch of people. And then Kalia, I just wanted to show you guys this because this is something us girls do every year. So if you guys do want to send out something to like your more like A+ clients, family, friends, Kalia is a really great company. They do a Christmas arrangement. Last year they had like a really nice greenery. I don't think they're doing that this year.
No, it's a little different.
But it comes in a really cool big blue box. It gets delivered right to their door, has a card in it. You can even add like a local store gift in there, or you can add a vase. There's a whole bunch of different options. But if you guys are thinking of something and you don't want to go hand delivering gifts this year, this is a good option as well. I think it's about $70 per arrangement, which is pretty normal, like when you compare it to most floral companies, but they also will text your client and it's a good experience. So
they'll even do a bulk order. So if you have like more than 5 and you want to go online and add to a cart, you can send them an Excel spreadsheet of all of your clients' information, what you want, and you'll do one credit card payment and they'll facilitate the whole thing for you. So that's what we do is we load like 100 on an Excel spreadsheet and they manage it all for you.
Yeah. So it's a nice little gift. So again, this is a good time to get your addresses all sorted because if you want to do something like that, it makes it easier. Just some upcoming dates. So next Wednesday, the 11th, we're going to do, I did a vote in the WhatsApp group if you guys were in there. I tried a test. I did, would you rather do a vision board business planning, a traditional business planning, or both? Unfortunately, everyone chose both. So I scratched that. That didn't help me at all. So I did another vote and majority of people said they would rather do a vision board for a business planning session, which is a little different than what we've done. So I think next week on Wednesday, what we'll do is maybe we'll bring in some coffee and stuff. if you guys want to come in early, and then around 11, we'll do like a vision board morning. It's going to require you guys it's going to be a virtual vision board. I'm not going to be bringing in magazines and stuff like that for you to clip or anything, but Canva we'll be using. So if you don't have a Canva account, I'll need you to create one. It is free. And then you can create a vision board using that, or I'll just have paper if you guys feel like brain dumping and drawing and all that stuff. So it'll be more of a creative day. We'll do it in the office and we'll do it online as well. It won't be as impactful if you're online, but it'll be a good session next week. Maybe I'll put some, I don't know, Christmas music on or something. We'll see.
Do you guys know what a vision board is? Like we all know what that is. Yeah.
Claire, do you know what a vision board is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is anti-Claire.
We're doing vision boards before you were born.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
So we were going to do
you're hosting now,
I'll still mail out a traditional business plan, but in the past I found that people literally do not stick to a business plan. So we'll try a little bit more of a right-brained visualization of how our years will go next year. And hopefully that, I don't know, maybe it starts us off on a different foot. But if you do prefer the more traditional business plan, I will give that as well. And then December 17th, that's our holiday mixer. It's going to be at Crystal Fountain like we do every year. Anything on that? If you haven't RSVP'd, please send it to Ginny so we can make sure you guys have seats. I think we've got about 90 people registered right now, so I know that means probably another 100 people have not registered. So don't assume that you guys have a spot saved at a table because you go every year. Please email Ginny and let her know that you're coming and how many so we can ensure that we've got enough seats. I think that's it. I was getting questions. Oh no, I'll talk about this. I was getting questions on the Systems for Success checklists a lot that I did with you guys in this session. Lots of people wanted to have them branded. Unfortunately, my branding isn't popping up on this right now. There it is. So if you guys liked those checklists in the course that we did, I do have the option for you guys to have editable checklists. They do cost money. So they're $100. If you guys want to not have Percy Fulton, I'm going to make some that have C2 on Percy Fulton that will be free for you guys, or you can use the lime green ones. But if you've got your own branding, your own logos, you want to change some things, you guys can purchase them. They're just Canva links. So you guys can go to that link. I'll maybe send something out today as well. But if you guys liked those checklists and wanted to add them into your business, then there is an option for you guys to buy them editable now. And that's all I have.
Okay, so a couple things here. First of all, Canva. So what I've been doing lately, I've been signing up for all these different programs and like ORWP and whatever else, and you have to set up accounts. What I've been doing recently when I set up an account, I just set up an account with my Gmail.
Yeah, with Google.
With Google.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of people that can't remember passwords or forget this or forget that. So what I've been doing now in the last 6 months or so, I don't bother setting up anything different. All I do is sign up my Gmail.
Yep.
And then I'm done.
Google's great.
Yeah, most sites are compatible with Google Sign-In now.
See what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing we talked about, Active Rain. What is Active Rain?
Active Pipe.
Active Pipe.
Active Pipe. Active Rain is a roofing company.
Active Pipe.
They do commercials, so I listen to them. So there you go.
Active Pipe is an email campaign component of Hub 21. The Hub 21, you will have your CRM where you organize your people and their information, and you can actually do some campaigns from there. They have a preset library. Active Pipe takes it a next level where you're not going to classify these people. So you're going to say if they're a first-time home buyer, a seller, a potential client. If you tag them and you spend the time to organize it, there's AI built into it that will put them on certain campaigns that matches that tag. So it's a more advanced email campaign system than what we have on Hub 21.
So do I take my Hub 21 database?
It communicates with it automatically. So once you have your Active Pipe account, it talks to your Hub 21 CRM and it grabs people, but you'll manage it in Hub 21.
Why wouldn't I just send my emails through Hub 21?
Because it's 12 steps. So the reason, like, you can send it through C2 Engage, but it is 12 steps. So whenever I send people the steps, they already are out of it.
We're talking about custom campaigns. So Hub 21 has predefined campaigns in a library where you can easily set up all your people and it will send them, but it looks the same as everybody's. So if everyone is using it, which I know they're not anyways, it looks the same. If you want to create your own custom content campaigns based on templates, that's where you would go to Active Pipe. It's kind of like the next level of email campaign strategy.
But for those of you guys that don't know, while we're on like CRMs and stuff, C21 Engage, if you guys log into my.hub21.ca, it's called C21 Engage. I find it easy to use. I find it simple. It's very easy. So all you're doing is adding first name, last name, address, email address, and then you can tag them. They've got like different tags that you can do. And then as well, which if you guys are using C21 Engage, this is a reminder that you need to redo all of your 2025 campaigns because they don't automatically reset. So we do have to reset those. I don't even know if they have the new ones out yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, say it again for some people, that part.
Which part?
Just so anybody that set up their campaigns for 2024, you have to reset them again for 2025.
Yeah, the last one's going to go out December 21st. So make sure that you guys go back into your Hub 21 and reset them, or no one's going to get emails from you. And then all you're going to do is select which campaigns. They're not available yet, so we'll let you guys know when they are. But get ready. But that's why I'm saying this is a good time for you guys to get all your contact lists organized so that you can shove them on some automated email campaigns. These go out just automatically for you, so you're not thinking about it. Anytime you meet a new client, you do an open house, you get a new lead, you add them to your CRM, put them on a campaign. We like the seasonal maintenance one personally, but they've got the quarterly ones. They've got newsletters that you can send your clients once a month. These are really fluffy, but again, it doesn't matter what it says on it as long as they're getting something from you. If you want something more custom, that's when you're going to think about Active Pipe. So if you like to manually send emails saying, hey guys, interest rates went up, interest rates went down, you just want to send one-off emails, that's where Active Pipe's going to come in. Otherwise, if you're just doing newsletters and you want them automated, then you'll just use these. But if you haven't dove into this program and you're not using a CRM, please use this.
CRM would be the first step of getting the database.
If you guys lost clients this year, you had leads that ended up buying with another agent without you, a friend bought without you, there's a high chance that you guys are not running a good CRM platform and like reminding yourself to follow up with people. Even this, I'll dive into it a little bit. This program, I don't know who any of these people are. We'll just click this person. They're in Active Pipe too. So there's lots of stuff that you guys can do on this. You can write notes on like the last time you spoke to them. You can set them up on your campaigns in here. There's things where you can like add the transaction and it will take it a step further and like let them know if they're a buyer and seller and where they're at in the process. You can remind yourself to follow up. So it's very simple. Some people use Follow Up Boss. Doesn't matter what you're using as long as you're using something. But yes, if you lost clients this year, your communication plan is off.
Does it have a callback date for that individual?
I believe there's like a task list.
You could put a task with like a date and it would remind you. It'd be more simple just to put it in your Google Calendar, but you could.
So there's all that. Well, someone just asked on the group what a vision board is. This is a vision board. This is what we will do next week. So download Canva. You're going to be making your own. It's basically just pictures of how you envision your life, whether it's money, travel, whatever it is. It's just going to help you make a little vision. So it's a little fun. Again, if you want the traditional, I will also
It comes from the theory of like, if you've read the book, The Secret, or Mel Robbins will talk about manifestation, but it's about visual manifestation of some of your goals. So even though business plan might have like a number value and certain like action steps, a vision board is purely visual pictures of what you hope to achieve in a year. And it's very powerful once you have that done and ready and printed and you're looking at it every day. There's a lot of principles to be said about doing something like this. So I think it's actually a fun idea.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
You can you can have fun with it.
Used to be Floyd Wickman. Who's Floyd Wickman, guys? Just one left? Two left? There's only two of us?
Vision board.
So only two. So what
he did vision boards? Wow.
this is way back in the 90s. I said we've been doing it forever. But what he would do, he would make you do a vision board, but it would make you put it into laminate, put a hole on it and attach your keys to it. So you had to carry it around in your keychain.
Well, now you can put it like as a wallpaper on your phone.
The whole idea is your wife, your kids, your clients. What the hell is that, right? And you have to tell them, this is what I want. This when I sell my house, I want to sell this is going to be the car I'm going to buy.
So maybe we'll print it here after you guys are done, and you'll walk away with a printed vision board to show your partners.
Yeah.
all those expensive flights you're going to take them on. They'll remind you. Perfect. So that's what we'll do next week. That's all I've got.
Okay, good. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in a week, and please RSVP to the holiday party
Ginny.
and let us know if you need any help.
Bye.
Take care.
See y'all.